Hi everyone, welcome to Lesson 4 in the Legislative Branch. This last lesson will focus on the powers of the legislative branch. Your objectives are to identify what the principal powers are of Congress and the reasoning behind them. Why did the framers choose for Congress to have these powers? Secondly, you should be able to, as part of the continuing research into the branches of government, be able to analyze a system of checks and balances between the three branches, especially in relation to the legislative branch and its checks on the executive and the judicial branches. Now, before we talk about any of the powers, the primary power of Congress we already talked about, and that was the power to make laws. If you're not sure about that, rewatch Lesson 3. But what other powers does the Congress have? Well, Congress has the power to declare war. The founders were very worried and apprehensive about an all-powerful central government figure and wanted to put extraordinary limitations on the power of the president, the chief executive, especially within their capacity of being commander-in-chief of the military. The president controls the military in times of peace and war. That's a big power. If you control the military, you can control a lot of things. So in order to limit that power, the president cannot use the military and engage in a foreign entanglement unless the Congress gives the president the power to do so by declaring war. So Congress needs to meet in a joint session. Both the House and the Senate vote together. And if the people, the representatives of the people, choose that we should go to war, and war is a big deal. When you have war, your government is saying to you, we are going to be sending our citizens to fight and die in the name of our country, to go and kill people, to maybe be sent overseas, thousands of miles away for long periods of time. War pays a heavy price to the citizenry. So we want to make sure that this isn't just a light decision that's made. That is something that is debated, that's argued, and that there's a consensus of all 535 members of the Congress before we give the president the power to do so. Now, usually the president will deliver a war address asking Congress to vote on this. For example, if you think of after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, we weren't officially at war with the Japanese until December 8th, the following day, when Congress voted to give the president the power and to execute a war and to declare war on the Empire of Japan. Technically, even though we were attacked and we had thousands of Americans dead, war wasn't official, and the president couldn't officially act to build an army to respond to the Japanese until he was given the power to do so by Congress. So Congress has the power to declare war. Congress also has the power to end war. The president has the power to carry out war, to negotiate treaties. Treaties, remember, are agreements between different countries. There could be trade treaties, but also treaties also could be what are used between two countries who are at war with one another to officially end it. So wars are started by Congress, and wars are officially ended by Congress. Congress has the power to approve treaties of the president. If the Senate disagrees with the president's treaty, they could reject it, vote it down, and it becomes null and void. That means their agreement to end the war could become null and void, the trade agreement, so on and so forth. So Congress has the power to declare war and has oversight on treaties and allows them to either vote them up or down. Talking about that first power we talked about, the power to declare war. Why do you think that the framers gave the power to declare war only to the legislative branch and not to the president? Why would they make the legislative branch chooses whether or not we're going to commit American lives and money, blood and treasure to war? Think on that. Write out your answer.